Well, let's get down to business. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the West Ham Network. This is another Anton Reacts to Your Comments, an opportunity for us on the West Ham Network to pull together some of your comments that you make on the channel and for us to directly come against them or just give you our opinion on the basis of what you've said based upon our video at that time. It's a really good way to engage with you, the audience, if we're not on lives, and we can pre-record this for you. So, without further ado, let's get straight into the first comment. And the first one to discuss today is related to me on the watch-alongs. And Kansas Storm 72 says, "Love it. You shout so loud the microphone can't cope." Now, I want to address this simply because I'm not currently going to games much as I would like to. Even as a season ticket holder, it really does get to me. So being able to bring to you a match day live, a watch-along, genuinely keeps me part of the West Ham community until I can get back regular games. Now, doing the watch-along, I've stated all the time, I don't negotiate and I don't move on the comments. I don't have the comments open because I want to enjoy the raw game as it comes to me. I hate spoilers. I've always hated spoilers. It doesn't give me much joy at all. I hate when someone's ahead of me if we're watching or watch along at the same time. So I want to give you the raw emotion, and that is the way it feels. That is the way it is. I could make things better by getting a better microphone, but I just want to enjoy the moment. And if I got a better microphone, I'd probably break it. So that is just what it is. But I appreciate your genuine nice comments, so thank you very much. Now the next one is related to the video that Holly did talking about West Ham's potential interest in Harry Maguire, and JBCQ6WG has said, "Harry Maguire, for fuck's sake. Hashtag Moyes out." Now, listen, this is one of those links that's probably not going to go away from West Ham. Harry Maguire's time at Manchester United is definitely coming to an end. West Ham have held a long invested interest in Harry Maguire, especially David Moyes. We don't know what's going to happen in the summer, whether David Moyes is going to be in charge or not. There is something to be said in bringing in a Premier League experienced defender. But is it going to be a defender like Harry Maguire? The one thing we both can agree on, whether it's Harry Maguire or not Harry Maguire, is we desperately need recruits. We desperately need recruits in the centre-back position. We don't have strength and depth in there, and we don't really have a leader, even though our leader is supposedly the captain, is supposedly Kurt Zouma. I don't believe that is our forward options moving forward. And I think we really need to look at that area come the summer. Whether that's David Moyes in charge, then the link will be there with Harry Maguire, whether it's another manager. I'm not necessarily sure that they're going to be so dead against Harry Maguire either, because I think we all know at some point in his life he has been a good player. It's just whether or not things are working for him at that moment. Again, there's going to be interesting conversations to have about Harry Maguire. How much is he paid per week? And how much can West Ham be willing to pay for a player like him? So leave your comments and let me know, do you like the idea of us bringing in Harry Maguire? The user here says something similar, but he did say that he read that Moyes is interested in signing a player called Mandela Keisha, who currently is on loan to Royal Antwerp, and also a cut price deal for Harry Maguire in the summer, who is in charge of the transfers, goodness sake. Listen, don't come away from the fact that without any shadow of a doubt, Tim Steidten is in charge. That doesn't mean that no one else can bring recommendations. That doesn't mean that the manager, whoever's in charge, can bring a recommendation to the table. There is no ifs or buts and babies about that. That's exactly how it works. You don't have to have the real common sense for it. The sporting director, the role that Tim Steidten has been brought in to do is that role to player recruitment. And that does not mean, though, that nobody else can bring a player to them. And if the manager is going to work on this system, and let's just say it was going to be David Moyes moving forward, he's going to have to listen a lot more, or has been listening to the recruits that are coming in the door from Tim Steidten and West Ham. Now, Harry Maguire, I've just mentioned it. I think that one's a very interesting topic to discuss, but we'll leave that for another day, should those rumours kick in and progress as we move forward. E. Davis 6077 is replying to Russ's video that he spoke about Ivan Toney and saying that some of the I do struggle with that newspaper in particular, saying that they're saying West Ham is one of the 3 teams that are interested in Ivan Toney. But to be fair to Russ, if you do listen to the videos, E. Davis, he does state that this is all paper talk, and he brings that story to the channel for us to discuss realistically. And if West Ham are going to try and challenge to bring Ivan Toney in and are facing a battle against Chelsea and Tottenham and other teams, we know we're going to lose that battle financially, aren't we? We do know that. I don't think for a second he would be a rubbish signing. I think he'd be a quality signing, but let's be realistically, it's a bit of a pipe dream, isn't it? It is a bit of a pipe dream. However, even on that, Ivan Toney, I think there's definitely something not right up there. Not this mentality. I'm not accusing him of having mental health issues or anything like that. I just think he's possibly a bit above his station, even though he's got the backup in terms of his stats, but he certainly won't want to have a relegation on his name, will he? So let's see what happens. Mr. Hoopski says the problem is Moyes wants players because of their names and who they play for. What he doesn't do is look for players that fit the system of play. Phillips always played in the teams that are on the front foot at playing attacking football. Moyes doesn't play that way, so it's totally unsuited to his team. All on Moyes, and he can look at all he wants. He hopefully won't be here in the summer. And this is in relation to the video that I did about Calvin Phillips saying that Moyes has come to a U-turn decision. Again, all, not facts in there, but it's starting to highlight maybe that he's not getting regular game time, not coming on, not featuring from the subs bench, etc. And it's a shame. Calvin Phillips thing is a shame. But a manager will make mistakes. A coach will make mistakes. A sporting director will make mistakes. An owner of a club will make mistakes. A player, individual, me, you, we will make mistakes. That's the nature of what the world we live in. But it's dog eat dog in the football world, and if you make that one mistake in terms of bringing in a player recruitment, then you're going to get totally torn to shreds. The Calvin Phillips one, I think I said it in the video the other day, I think it was a year too late for bringing him in. And I think you're right. I think there's some players also that play at West Ham that don't suit Moyes' style. Agard, for example, he is more preferred in a front-facing football team, not a team that play a low block. He is a defender that likes to play further forward. That's why he's really good on the ball, and he can track back because he's got pace. But if he can't track back because we're already in our box, then the chance of the opposition shooting our box is going to be higher than lower. So I do think there are some players that do fit the system and some players that simply don't fit the system, and quite a lot probably don't fit the system, and I don't think Phillips fit the system at all. So it's harsh on him, but it is kind of feels like it is true, isn't it? Next up, yet another crap vanity signing from Moyes. This is in relation to Phillips as well. We could have really improved in the January window, and the clown show only wants Phillips, who's been horrendously bad. Again, Dean Hodges, I don't think it's just as simple as that. I don't think for a second that it's just that we wanted Phillips and Phillips only. I think there were options there. I just think they had to decide whether or not they were willing to pay some of the money that they were being quoted or hold tight and wait for the transfer budget. Now, I am on the same wavelength with you, Dean. I feel like once West Ham are in a certain position, we need to progress, we need to push, we need to drive, we need to bring recruits in, decent recruits. Look around, when I think of the what's the player, the Ghanaian player that's just signed for Brighton? I can't remember his name. It's just slipped my mind. But when we were looking at him, it's like, well, go and get him. But equally, though, we can't be held to ransom. We can't pay the money that they were looking for if they were expecting it. Brighton have that model. Brighton take risks. And I don't think there's a bad thing in taking risks, but West Ham certainly are risk averse. But Brighton do take risks. And if you look at their stats over the last 5 years of the amount of players they've brought into their club in comparison to West Ham, it dwarfs West Ham. But they bring in lots of players valued at low prices and sell on for profits. Now, not all of them for profits, but most of them, and some of them go on for really hefty profits. Caicedo, Cucurella, just to name a few. You're talking about, 170, 60 million pounds in just 2 players that they've sold, and they'll probably bring in 20 for that, just, on average. So, is that the model you would want, the Brighton model? Loads of people talk about it. Last but not least, in the first half of the season, all the games where Alvarez didn't play, we struggled. JWP and Souček would have to fill in, and we lost our shape, and our performance were terrible. So I think the Calvin Phillips move made so much sense. The case in point now is that we have to central defensive midfielder to fill in for Alvarez against Bayer Leverkusen. He's undoubtedly a quality player. He's just had an unlucky start, and he's slow in confidence. I think we should just get behind him. This is in relation to missing Alvarez for this game. picking up the yellow card and missing the first quarterfinal against Bayer Leverkusen, and in relation to the Calvin Phillips situation. And yes, he's not going to sit in and take over Edson Alvarez's position, because we have found a quality, a diamond, not even a diamond in the rough, a quality world-class player, Mexican international, who come in has pushed West Ham on further. But I think what we've got in the backup is maybe Calvin Phillips just needs that arm around him. And I don't know. I don't know if he'll play. I don't know if he'll feature in the quarterfinals. But if he does, you're right, Andrew. We do need to 1,000,000% get behind all of our players and not judge them for how things have been over the last couple of times. If he gets the call up, then we need to back him to the guns. And we will back him to the guns. We will. We're West Ham. We will always support our team no matter what. As well. But that brings an end to Anton Reacts to your comments. Philip, Moyes, Tim Steidten, you name it, everyone's been discussed. Leave a comment in the comment section if you've enjoyed that. Please put your thumbs up. Please also subscribe to the channel if you're new around here and you would like to become a channel member. Hit the join option on the option when you come onto the channel. Join us later on for some more content. And of course, come on, you wonderful Irons.